Hello, it's me, it's Wolfren, and we're back with some more 6 a.m. Content recording. Let's go. Okay, so we have this Zorga mask with Nadir list, and we are versus Rezael. This is a fated king showdown. So the idea here it's like you try to go first because it's easier, and if you go second, you try to deny the rush drama by not giving CB. Okay. Um, some of the games are interesting, and there is one game that it's a complete clusterfuck, like a massive clown fiesta, because it was the first game and we were sleepy. Okay, everything went wrong. Okay, so I think this format, like, it's like zero interaction most of the time because like everyone's doing a thing that it's like straightforward in the sense that it cannot be like interrupted by any means. Like we have CCs or like there is no way to play around things by controlling the amount of damage they have. Besides, with things like trying to heal or trying to deny heals, but like I think we have to like understand we are on this stream forward line. Like we need to follow and we need to like be the most powerful we can at every single turn. We cannot afford like wasting a turn. I think that's one weakness Zorga has now in any of its versions because you cannot interact with your opponent, and Zorga is very good at interacting with your opponent. So like here we have the best thing we can be doing, which is like attack 3 times turn 2 into your opponent's face, and like when you go first you don't care about what they are doing, you just want to do your thing. So the idea is this deck plays like a Zorga Nadir. It's just like you have more soul and you have more power by combining both Zorgas, and also because Zorga Mask can bind extra cards, you can also force like your bind faster into a powerful divine skill turn. So basically, by the time like you have your 3 Zorga mask, and by the time you might need or you might not have more Zorgas, you can just write your Nadir and your divine skill for a more than decent amount of powers. Okay, that's the idea. And in the meantime, you just try to use your regurgitations to destroy their PGs. So basically, they cannot put more PGs on their board, or if they try to farm like a front trigger or something, you can also destroy that and add triggers or even the OT back to your hand, right? So yeah, that's what you have to. I have to say though that like while this list like finally works, it's also like it feels like you are doing 3 mortal backflips when your opponent's just pressing CB1 button. Okay, but when it works, it works. It's just that we don't have like when we rig, we hardly rig because we don't have like it's like it's not like Zorga, it rigs a lot. It's just that when you rig, you would usually like make a sidestep like into damage deny or something, and that option it's no more. So if you rig, you lose because you cannot keep up with their massive strong play they're doing. Like in this moment, like until Babsaura comes, when Babsaura comes, the format becomes like um more interactive again because CB suddenly matters once more. But like until then, we just need to do our strong plays and I don't know, try to keep the engine rolling within reason. Okay. Uh, yeah, I see they healed. Like the problem like is like when you give like when you try to play this DPS race we are now, and like suddenly some of the players heal, and you are not playing one of those decks where they can just farm a lot of cards freely and still always do the maximum pressure output without choosing too much, right? They will heal and they have other means to stay in the game because they farm a lot and still do pressure a lot. Like they don't have to choose between farming and pressuring, which is more interesting, right? But that's not the case anymore. And like you might feel some of the games that just happen, like you do your tempo thing, they heal, and then you are 3 attacks for 3 years, and they are like 5 attacks for 53, 63, and it's like, whoa, why are you also drawing 3 cards per turn? But, well, I think like that's what we have to do right now. We just try to do the best thing we can every turn, and sometimes it will work, sometimes they will heal 3 times, and it just happened, okay? This deck, it's also really bulky. It's like, okay, you are 3 attacks, but you're also like not defensive really strongly, right? So you have like really you have the ways to stay on rolling. I think that's one of the problems is like with this. Am I running suites? Yeah, here I'm running suites. Like suites, it's a more strong, like it's a very strong card, like because you run like you're increasing your chance of hitting those heals. Night Rose will heal a lot because it's triple drive and fairly Fiends, and Levidras has the Antogasta, so they will heal a lot. And you will not be healing as much because you don't deck thin enough, and if you draw the heals, it gets really spooky. Healing, for my taste, it's way too important now. It's not even about hitting crits, like the crits do not matter that much, or at least they matter up to the extent on how much heals matter for the game, but I don't like heals mattering that much because we basically have those decks that can take a lot of damage early, and like they are always staying on healing range. With Zorga you can't do that because you have to push turn 2. Like your windows for healing are less, and healing is more important now because it's a game about like sustain. Games are all about for that. And also like people gains a lot of drives, like it's not sacking, but like the lack or like the chances, their chances of being strong on that regard are higher. More drive checks, etc. I'm not sure about that. Was this worth it? I'm not sure this was worth it. But the Naiveris doesn't, yeah, so then maybe. Now we can 15. How many orders do we have? Just 2? I guess we can always use it on the Nilberries, right? Makes sense. I think that's fine. Here it's like a lose-lose situation because you either guard the Rezael and then everything else will hit you, or you take it and it's a shooter as well, so yeah, we draw more. Well, did just that hit us? I think it did, yep. No, I think we did well. We just got punished by RNG a bit. Yeah, that was fine, I think. Also, we hit the defensive anyway, so some of the hits are not like... And we didn't spend cards, right? Because we drew 2. Seems fine to me. I wasn't paying attention. Probably the reason we did not use the mask, Zorga, because maybe we didn't have the mask. I don't know what exactly happened. But sometimes, like, if you go first, like, switch is very strong, okay? If you can use switch turn 3 and do that right, that's mostly fine because they want to take some CV, like, they want to have, like, I don't know, like, 3 damage Rezael turn, or they want to activate stuff, and, like, the Zorga, like, if you hit a good damage trigger, like, check trigger with the Zorga turn 3, you don't really need to be on the superior version, you know? This card always weaves. Like, if you don't run 7 reg cards or mask cards, that card weaves too much. I don't like that. That's the part I don't like about running 2, but like at the same time, if you run 2, you cannot like expect to hit it as much, let's say. I think we bricked a bit here. It looks like we did. I'm not sure about the reason though. I think we just didn't see the mask turn 3. But like, if you don't have more Zorgas to keep royal riding, masking doesn't make any sense. Like, you have to start the turn at the Nadir because it's the card that pluses you. And the whole thing is like you're playing Nadir right here, and you just gain a bit more of power, or maybe bind one extra card here and there. Oh, this is very sad. Okay, we are calling that by binding, and we can just, okay, put the mask back into our hands. Okay, expensive, but we also need to attack, right? So I guess the problem, like, it's not that what the deck it's doing, it's not good. Like, it does farm a lot and it can like gain a lot of power, but like everyone else, it's doing the same. They do it easier, or like without thinking that much. You just need to pay 1 CV and it works. And like you have, I don't know, Nightros has the 8 extra slots on the stride deck. That, right? They have more space, or like it's more like you don't need to farm 3 types of cards. You just need to put 1 Nairos into your hand. I play Rhino a lot, by the way, and it's really fun. It's just like, it feels like the same deck, but you have 5 attacks, so that technically makes her better. And then like it's way easier to play because you're like in Zorga, you need Zorga Nadir, you need Zorga Mask, you need an order to play, you need the right order in the right place, you need 2 dragons, you need everything. And Nightros is just like, I will try to just put Nightros back into my hand with a Largolf every turn, and we'll call a PG, and it just intercepts. Like, it's like the easier version. But like that's the thing, like it's too many pieces, like, and then you need to play them really well, because you need to like be, okay, if I use the Zorga, this kind of Zorga this turn, and like you need to be very smart about what you're doing at everything, or it doesn't work. And like when your opponent is just playing CV1 to attack 5 attacks, it's like there is no color in that sense. Like, it's not about how good the deck can be anymore, it's about how complicated it gets. And like when you're playing versus Rezael, like people doesn't, the deck is slow, right? And you are slow as well, and like your opponent doesn't know what the fuck you're doing, and they waste a lot of time, and you time out, right? So there's a lot of complications that happened to me in Germany, because like people doesn't know what you're doing, and they play unintentionally slow, and at the same time, like, you don't want to be like rude to them. Yeah, that's something I don't get. Like, why would you make the format slower and bulky and just take away 5 minutes from your player's lifetime? I think like, I don't know, 35 minutes, it's not that much, and like, I don't know, it makes sure the games are more quality, right? So yeah, I want my 5 minutes back. At least I like, because I feel I'm playing turbo. You know, I don't like to play turbo. Yeah, we need 35 minutes again, please. But 35 actual minutes, not like 30 plus 10. Like 35 minutes. Let your player play and then that will lose them at 35, not 30. Okay. Yeah. So the problem it's like we have massive hand size, and but we're not. Yeah, so one thing I think like it's really cool, it's like, well, it's not really cool, it's like some kind of forced interaction. Okay, like when you can put them at 4 and then choke them there, it's very interesting. The only issue with that is like, if you can really afford to go into 5 by the time you should be doing that denying stuff, sometimes you can do it, but sometimes you just can't. Also, Rezael has this thing, okay? On turn 4, the deck is massive. Then it starts missing pieces because they cannot, like, create full board out of nowhere, or they cannot, like, they run out of Rezaels, etc. So if you can, like, survive until that point, then the game becomes easier. Uh, yeah, but it's not ideal when like you cannot do the Nadir. It's like that's a problem because like Zorga Mask had the Philanders for the extra power, so you can still hit high, even if it is at the expense of not plussing as much or like having to call actual rear guards from your hand without saving those cards. What are we drawing? Oh, we paid 7, okay. So it's really a very good card. Especially if you don't have to pay CD on other stuff. So yeah, here's the thing, right? We start, like, I will say one good thing and one bad thing. We started by breaking and we did a lie. This is very good, okay? But on the other side, the opponent would never be on this bricky situation in the first place because they don't have pieces. CBC. Yes, CD. Wait, I'm not using it. I'm not using it. Because I don't have the soul either. Okay, I have to call the Alana because I don't have the soul. Okay, we are back, team. We are back. Okay. Yeah, also like this play falls apart when you cannot rewrite because you need the soul charge too. But although maybe the mask we added the previous turn was like over. Oh no, it wasn't because we needed the mask to play. Okay, even if it was like a wave. No, because that turn both magics went to the waste, but still we needed it to play. But like, did we actually? Because we just called the dragon and did nothing else. Maybe we just had to play it slower for one more turn. But that's the thing, right? It's hard to realize the play it's not playing. Like, you do no pressure. I would like to know the reason for them to having such a low hand size though. But here's the thing, if we had the 4 attack, like, they would be losing. The problem is there's no space for everything. Like, you need to sacrifice something. You either use the Nadir as your 4th attack and then you don't run any more 4th attack. You either do not run the Cyclers and then you're an aggro deck that loses turn 3, 4. You either, I don't know, you have to give up on dragons and then you just tutor it. Like, I have tried that. It's actually pretty fun, but then you miss pressure sometimes. Like, you don't have space to run everything. If you could run everything, the 4th battle, the shooters, the blitz order, it would be really good. But then, like, you need to fail on consistency, right? Because you have to run less of everything and then you don't hit everything every time. And that's the problem with that kind of thing. So apparently we lost, but like after the massive freak, I think we were reasonably close. Like the turn with the 2 orders that we missed, the Alchemagic did nothing, like there's 2 cards we lost, and the turn 3 was really bad as well. I don't know, I think we were decently close given the complete brick fest we were putting. Okay, so let's move into game 2. This game, like, I had 3 options turn 3, and I went for the more risky, but it was also the most fun, so we have to commit into something, okay? Okay, so basically, like, I had the safe play where I would go, like, sweets, turn 3, but I chose something else, because I had the God hand for it, and I had to do it. I really like this right line. What I don't like about it is that it makes you run the 4 shooters, because if you whiff that, like, this right line, it's good if you go first, but if you go second, you are so cannon glass. And like, if your opponent is not playing one of those slow decks, you really struggle. You really struggle. And like, if we could stabilize into our game plan without the shooters, I would definitely go for that. and cut some of them, but like you really, when you don't run 4 and you are on that right lane, you start losing games because you cannot stabilize, they rush you, or I don't know, you don't see the PG turn 3 because you didn't draw. Because Rancor Chain is actually drawing too, so it can put PG into your hand, but like it's not the case for that one. It doesn't draw, it doesn't put PGs into hand, you really need to have that draw engine. But this is what I'm talking about. Like with this right line, you have the Philander included on your right line, so you have space for the defense, but at the same time, like it takes away space from something else. You don't have space to run everything. That's a problem. Okay, no more OT for them. Sorry. It's, by the way, we are 500 subscribers. Thank you for the support. Like, I forgot to do something special, but I should really do something special. What could I do? Because, right, it's something important. I think, like, because I was told people wanted to do like a tournament on the server. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do that. We can arrange something. I will think about it. We went first again, so we just harass them with pressure. And that's the thing, right? They have the aerial sage. We cannot damage deny them. We cannot punish them for calling cards. I think like this concept, this format where you will do your thing regardless of what your opponent is doing, and you just want to do the most out of your engine without interaction. I don't think that's the most fun we have been in the game, because like some years ago people was like, deal requires no, it's not skill, you just go face, and I was like, that's not true, you have a lot of options. And now it's like you are forced into a 30 minutes of attacking Vanguard most of the games because of the CCs, because the cards say you don't pay the cost, you just put the card into soul, or because the CC costs are not involved into anything important. So okay, this is very good because we are here on a game. Well, it's not very good because I will proceed to go into madness next turn. But like, if you are, if you happen to get into a game state where the game slowed down by itself, like you didn't have to do anything to slow it down, it got slowed down. That's where you are favored to win because you will hit your farm engine easy without doing weird stuff. That's usually a good game, a good green game for you because you will have time. You might even be able to not persona right or like go slower and farm your resources during the whole game. That's probably what I should have been doing here, but like I had like this massive hand where I have literally everything, and I will go like ooh, and then attack a lot and ooh. Okay, here the good play, because that happened, it's go switch, not use the mask, and just cheese for triggers. Because you have the time for that, you can afford not being as strong or powerful here. They are also at 1 damage, so you don't really want to waste a lot. However, we had the overcoming, we had the Zorga mask, and like we had already the Nadir for the next turn. So I went into this madness course of action where I bind 3 orders, so I'm stronger next turn and I can like turbo divine because I have a lot of potency. You will evidently see that the play was not really good because you will see that. So if that happens, if the game slows itself down, you just go switch, farm, keep your Zorgas in hand to have a more sustained game plan, that it's longer on sustain for you. And if sometime, but like this same game, if they were at 3 damage, I would just go for that 100%, but that sadly happened, but at the same time I was like, oh my god, I have the cards, I want to do that, you know? Also because it doesn't happen often. So when you have it, like, you want it. So the idea, as usually, is that they have to waste the 215s to guard or take the 2 damage. So basically, yeah, but they heal, that's the problem. That heals matter too much, this format, and we are always like from this position where we start dealing the damages first before them. And like our windows at healing are slim if we don't use suites, right? But yeah, you still want to do the 2 crits first. If they take the 2 damage, then it's like you have attacked 4 times or even 5 if they also take the dragon, or if they guard proportionally, let's say. So yeah, this was a very good turn for us. If only they would not have like hit the OT, like this course of action would be really good. It's just that the moment it happened, we would have better been going for the other play. There was also a third route to follow, but I don't remember it, to be honest. Like, there was the clear option and the greedy option. We will always pick the box. But yeah, we shouldn't pick the box. We just want to pick the safe choice. Except unless. Personally, I do not like the Teethfall version as much as I do like this one, because like the Teethfall version, it's like a concoction to get like denied. Like, it's a deck that requires pieces when Valtrosa doesn't require any kind of that, and you can be damage denied, and it really impacts you because suddenly you have bad cards you cannot use. I don't know, I think I prefer this one, even if, like, okay, Levidra's, it's not the best mechanic they have made, the Infinity Ice Marker, because it forces everyone into giving up utility to have more power, but that's not what we should be doing as players. Personally, I really think so. Like, making your decks worse or even less fun, I would say, just because there is a deck that asks you to be 10k more power everywhere for no reasons without paying any kind of cost. Like, I don't think that's what we should be doing. Like, Teethfall, it's worse on everything. It just seems better because you need that 10k, but it's a worse card. It's literally a worse card. Here you can afford running Hostage as well because you have the space. I don't know, this version is just a better deck. And sure, Levitas is the best deck in the format, whatever. But like, I really hate how that deck shapes everything around it and makes everything less fun. Like, a lot of decks become unviable, and it makes everyone there having to do weird stuff. And then suddenly they print Babs, who gains 30k power into the front row, and okay, sure, that counters Levidras. We won't see Levidras anymore post Babsaura, but that's not what we should be aiming for as a format. Like, we want interactive formats where decks care about each other, but in a healthy way, not just reducing everyone's power or having to gain massive amount of power to compensate for that. And we should not, like, expect new things to counter previous stuff. We should expect the synergies between the different decks to be interesting. That's what I think we aim for, and they have been doing that for a lot of time. I don't understand why they choose not to follow that concept. They just dropped it, I think. I don't know. I still love the game though. I just like, when I like something, I will say I like something. When I don't like something as much, I will also say I don't like something as much. It's all there is. That being said, I'm excited for Babs because, like, I think the games will be fun again. Like, in the sense, like, this having a say on what your opponent is doing next turn, it feels so fun. That's what I want to be doing. And Zorga is so good on that kind of format, because you can control, like you can choose how to invest your resources, in the sense that you can generate, like here, you can generate a lot more of pressure, or you can slow down and farm more. You have those options, and it's very fun when it matters in a format. And now it doesn't. It's just like gaining the maximum amount of power, farming the most amount of cards, and paying the less amount of resource for everything as you can. But like, it's not as interesting, right? We want interaction to happen. Okay, so because we farmed a lot of orders in our bind zone, we can do the fourth attack here. Like in this game, we are not playing Nadir, we are playing Zorga-masques, and you can see it's terrible, but because we need a lot of lag, right? The Nadir is not as big, and like they healed 2 times, and they are clearly not in kill range. So basically, we are taking a risk here. Like that play, it's fine if they don't hit your teacher too. If they are like at more damage, you can go for that, then they are probably losing here. The problem is like we don't hit all of the cards every time, and it's really interesting, like when you have them to go for it, even if the situation is not the proper. There is a lot of outside sounds. I hope it doesn't disturb the video. That's what I'm actually thinking here. Oh my god. Like, you would think that at 6 a.m. the city is more quiet, but it's actually more noisy. We have the trash truck in the streets. A lot of sounds. Luckily, we healed. Did we heal? I think we healed, and like that's not something we played for. It's just something that happened in our favor. That's also why this play is not correct. But how fun was it? I really wonder what is happening outside, because there is a lot of noise. What the fuck? Maybe it just don't get recorded. Anyway, I really like Katwala, and Deathfall cannot really play with Katwala that well because you have more soul last costs. But Katwala, it's really nice. Like you have Katwala and aerial saves to make sure your plays cannot be denied, and like Katwala digs for Rezaels, and you still run the Valtrosa, right? You just, I don't know, less pieces, more utility, more consistency, and okay, you lose 10k, but again, you have a better deck. Yeah, also them staying at 4, it's like a drama for us, because the kill next turn, it's not even guaranteed after all we did. Here we probably need to take the first damage just to 100% blind them from healing. But I'm not sure if we have the cards for that even, so maybe we cannot afford doing it. It's a frontier, oh my god. We are not even guaranteed surviving because hand size it's low. Okay, power. We don't heal, but power. Um, Wait, did they not do 5 attacks? What happened? We had to take that one. We would have perfectly lose here. This happens to Rezael a lot. Past 4-4, they cannot guarantee having the max power output, because that deck, it's a lot of pieces as well, and like, sure, Duro finds PGs, and you have all of that, but like, if you find defense, you don't find more pieces to call to board. So it's not like Rezael has access to everything at all the times. This is also why it's worse than Levidras, even if it's more fun. Oops, we went too fast once more. Okay. But yeah, versus Rezael, like, it's like you really want to make sure you live. And like, if they call the PGs, like, you gain the 4th attack, like, they cannot hostage you if they have the card, okay? And even if they do not have it, you can still kill the Aerial Sage, get 2 PG into your hand, you survive a lot. Like, that play is very good. The play that farms, we need this in drop zone, Wolf, yeah, because we will mask first, because there is no soul otherwise. Okay. And like, when you combine both, the powers keep scaling and you are hitting for massive numbers. Like, since you only have 3 attacks, might as well those have a saying on what's happening. They can also not take the damage, and they add 4. Like, at this point, a 5 attack deck would be a 4 attack deck, because they can take 1. Here you are 3, but they have to guard everything, single one of them. So let's say that turn, it's as strong for you as it would be a 4 attack turn for someone else with no crits involved. Just 1 PG, what's happening? What am I doing? Because I can only bounce 1 and the Shadow Cloak dies. Okay, 1 order for next turn. Sure. But again, this was not the optimal course of action. We were very lucky here. Well, looks like it's GG. Let's go for round 3. This game, it's actually very interesting. We are going second here. So we have to do the opposite thing. We have to go second, and we want to deny the Teethfall Baltrosa, so we just pass turn. And we will try to punish every overcommitting they make. If they really call something and they stay at 0 damage, you just deny that and go to the rear guard. They should be smart. If you don't attack in turn 1, it's to prevent them from attacking turn 2, and they should stick to just using Cadwalla to put pressure. That at the same time, it's like preventing some of the pressure they have, because they can never 3-lane you. And if they like mess up and like call that second attacker and leave it there, you instantaneously punish them for that. Okay, that's not good. By not giving the Rezael damage. If they do that, you just give them the normal attacks now. You just attack them. Yeah, I really like fishing being so good at making sure Shadow Cloak is happening for you. That's also easier to do here, because you don't have to find kill or kill. Like, yeah, you don't have to find kill turn 2, so you can afford finding the Shadow Cloak more. So it's actually more consistent. We also have Oralanas. I really want the new fronts to come. Like, those are going to be very good for Nadir. I have mixed feelings, in the sense that, okay, sure, soul charts, that's really nice, and we definitely want it. It makes me tilt a bit that we do actually have to pay the costs. What do I mean here? Like, we have a lot of the cards that just put cards into soul for free. They have more soul, so they can afford running the normal fronts, and we have to forfeit 5 key shield to get that soul. It doesn't matter to me if we have abolishment, like, it makes up for it 100%, so we have more shield even with the soul charge, because we can play our defensive cards easily. But at the same time, I don't like that we have this extra soul blast cost that makes us lose shield where everyone else is losing that shield, okay? But the card is very good and we want to run it. I think I would like to also run it in Night Rose as well, I think. Because it lets you, like, okay, you lose 5k shield on the front, but you also gain a soul that maybe you can use for an LR Wolf to put Marauding Shade in your hand, so you are just, let's say you are gaining 10k shield instead of losing 5. So yeah, I really want the new fronts to come. Okay, they healed. Here we have to make a decision, like, do we have, like, are we setting up already? Because their personal turn, it's very massive, and we might just want to farm, keep our Zorgas for a longer run. Is that what we're going to do? I think so. That's what I think I should be doing here. I don't see our hand, it's like that good. We can definitely use the Forbiddle. Like, we don't have dragons, right? So we should, like, use the Forbiddle to set up and attack the Valtrosa and just call it a day and do nothing else. What am I doing? Okay, I'm thinking, okay, so I'm thinking, like, should I have done that? But I shouldn't. That's good. Just... Okay, we are not even using an order. Is that what's happening? What's happening? We are not... Yeah, because we don't have an order for the next turn. Is that so? We do. Okay. Okay, slowing down. That's really good. And the Zorga. Okay. And now we do not Persona, right? Nice. Well, yeah, we don't. We play slow. I like that. That's what we have to do. Good done, Wolfren from the past. Let's go. Okay, and Bastion. Nice. But here's the thing. Okay, if you do that, your opponent doesn't know what you're trying to do, and like this will take them 2 minutes, like, to think what they have to do, because it's not what it's not that line they have been following every turn for 30,000 years. And they take time. They take too much time, and if, like, this is the correct play to do here, but you cannot, like, be 100% sure you will be able to finish that game on a tournament. Okay, so that's the problem. Like, every time, like, this kind of play, it's so interesting and it's so fun, and it has to make, like, you need to understand the game on the long run, and it's amazing, and then they just cut 5 minutes from the tournament, so you cannot actually go for that, and that makes me sad. Tentacles hitting the screen, okay? That makes me mad, because, like, when the game gets the most interesting with interaction and being able to punish your opponent for misplays or black, you don't have the time to finish the game. That's... Anti-Zorga sounds. But, like, this is so fun. Like, when you can do that, it's so fun. I really like it. I'm not sure if I would have Persona Road if I were they, because they have to play for the same, right? They have to they need to make sure they will be able to keep up on this long run, you know? And maybe there is one point of the future where they don't have a Rezael or something for a call that didn't do much. But, like, we are so used to trying to do the most we can this format that I don't understand why he would do that, because like you feel forced into do the most you can, or like you feel like you lost the game instantaneously because the other would be likely to be doing the same. We have two Malis. What's happening? We have Mali, Zemfries. Okay. Oh, just Alana, just because it's Alana. Okay. Now we can persona ride. Okay. I was like, what the fuck? We don't have the mask in drop zone, perhaps. Or maybe we don't have the Zorga at all. We do have the Zorga. What is the mask? Okay, that's not ideal. Well, or is it though? Because like they are at 0 damage, they have to take damage, right? And here we could, because they have front row, right? We can. I think that's correct, because they have to take 2 damage always, because you can always do Nadir into rear guard. They always have to take the 2 dragon. So it doesn't matter the power. I think not personal riding here, it's actually very smart. It really is smart, I think, because they always have to take one of the dragons or they cannot play. Yeah, and by doing that you have more time of doing stuff, because the power here did literally not matter, because they need CV or they do nothing. Needing CV, it's so fun. Like this kind of Vanguard, interactive Vanguard, it's really interesting and it's really fun. I think I hope we get back into that kind of format very soon, because it's really cool when you can do that. Oh, that really swings in our favor. I didn't remember that. Like being rewarded for playing slow, it's like, whoa, GG, you know. Or like if you play slow and they hit the OT, but you didn't waste everything there, it also feels really okay. Thanks God I didn't. Oh, but then I think I recorded more games than I thought, because like those games, none of them it's the clusterfuck. Maybe I have a 4 video. Well, that's nice. Yeah, none of those games are the clusterfuck. There is one game that's not here, that it was completely clown fiesta, okay? Everything was dramatic. Because it was the first game, and I don't know, we did just have our food, and it was like being processed. Again? We are not going to Persona right ever? Well, we have a lot of soul, right? I think we just do not have the mask. And I was coping about having it, but I think we don't have it. like this same game with a bit more of personal ranked action. Like this turn, the previous turn I wouldn't have, but this turn I think like it would have been amazing. But fortunately, since we have some bound orders, our attacks are not like as bad. Like we're 43s, we're swinging. Sleepy. What's happening? I got distracted. The only problem I see here is that no personal right equals less pressure, and suddenly we are not like on kill range. Like this turn, we need another turn. We need so many turns. Like we need at least 2 more turns, and our deck size it's getting low. They didn't really see the hostage, but if they did, we would have been regurgitating the PGs, so it would have been fine. Whoa. Dramatic. Painful to watch. Where are the dogos? It's a front trigger. Oh, it's a crit trigger? What the fuck? Well, it was also a front trigger. I have to say, that kind of game, it's not usual. Like, people will usually have the CB because, like, unless, if you do that and they do not heal, they will always have Aerial Sage, or, like, they will have the CB to do their stuff. It will still be a worse stuff because it's 1 CB on regular Rezael, but it's unusual for, like, because you cannot, like, threaten them the same way, because the reason the 15k dragons were turn 4, it was because they didn't have a CB, so you know they have to take at least one of the dragons. But if they have 1 CB, then you suffer from the brick, because they have the Aerial Sage to CC that damage back, and they are on Rezael Vita next turn, so they don't care about the great restrictions. So yeah, this is something that we could do because we bricked, but also because they healed to 0. And this is why you should always punish them for staying at 0. Like if they overcall ward, like if they enter the turn 3 with 0 damage, they are really screwed. So that's something you really have to abuse if you can, okay? If they let you, because some players will rush because they don't understand you can do that. And if they fail on that when you're going second, you just have to abuse them on that, okay? Like punish them. Like people, it's not highly punishable now, but if they like let you punish them, you do punish them, surely. Because you can tell like they lost everything on that heal. And it's not like they played right, they just healed from 1 to 0. Why is the mask bound, Wolf? Why is the mask bound? Why are you not persona riding? What the fuck? Okay. Okay, they are at 5, so it doesn't matter as much. And we drew the crit. Now we won't hit it. Jesus. I think that like, it's really packed though. Because like there is just 2 or 3 triggers in drop zone. So it's normal we drew them. Okay. We want the Nadir for the next turn. We don't care about our RPDs as much. We have the power. And we bind the order. Okay, soul as 1. We have to call the PG somewhere, Wolf. What are you sacrificing? Okay. Ah, but the dragons... Okay, we haven't Alchemagic yet. What the fuck? Okay, I was confused. Okay, so the dragons come back now and we get the 2, and we get another grade 1. Okay, grade 1, what? Ah, it's freeze, okay. Okay, it's the freeze. Yeah, but then, why did I... Because I think here I fucked my own mind, right? Because if I'm using the wreck and the freeze, I can just call the Zorga with the freeze, right? And then I can call a grade 1. I think there was something off here. Something was wrong here, like, I don't know. Like, freeze gets Nadir, wreck gets PG, and then you can just bind for an order, or maybe shooter for the abolishment. We have, like, yeah, we fucked up here. Like, well, maybe not, well, yeah, but we also want the Alana for the soul, because we need the Alana, because we don't have soul, so I get the Alana point, so, okay, sure. I'm not sure if there is some abolishment left in deck, then you can bind the Zorga for the Alana. Yeah, that's fine. Some fuck-ups were made here. Oh, this is such a long game. How many years left? This game is taking an eternity. I'm positive this is not 30 minutes. This is more. We have 3 pitches in hand. We're really bulky. But again, reach that board state, like, it requires magic. Like, I think, like, this is like what Zorga was, like, the previous format, because people did not have infinite CC, and you could do that kind of shenanigan every single game. It was amazing. Yeah, because, like, yeah, we have Aerial Sage and cards that CC for every deck, yeah. You cannot do that, and like the only game the karma says that we can do it, like, we have 3 pitches turn 7, we have everything, and they cannot keep up. It's like so fun. I think this format exists just to nerf Zorga. Okay, we don't have deck. It's like maximum 2 more turns. There is one game where I hit double crit and put everything on Vanguard, and because we didn't want to, because the deck was really packed, and we didn't want like to end because it was really fun. I think it's this one, and instead of giving everything to Vanguard and ending the game, I put it on the rear guards. I think that was the game, but I like blanked out at the moment, and I think that moment has already been, because otherwise I don't understand how many turns are left for this game. Okay, so I think that was the game, and like, so I hit the double crit and I put it in Vanguard because I had a lot of triggers in my deck, and I didn't want the game to finish just right there, and I split the powers instead. But like the deck was really packed, so I really think it was a good thing to do there. But yeah, it was also so fun. We didn't want it to end. I think that's the game. Yeah, that's the game. It was the previous turn, right? Yeah, so that's what happened. You saw like we give the crits to the middle, but we don't want the game to end, so the towers go like this. So technically, we have already won that game. Yeah, here we want to hit the crit because they are at 4, so we mill the heal trigger. And that's all about it. I will check though. I'm not sure if that's the game. Sometimes I I get distracted. I don't know. I lose track. How many games did I record then? What the fuck? There is a 4th game somewhere, and there is a potential 5 then, where that happened. If it's not, I think it's that one though. Yeah, also like we have this Zorga Bind crest, but you have to work so hard. You have to ride the Nadir every turn to access the crest. Like imagine if the stride deck sets had a requisite to use the stride power, the crest power, right? You have to ride the grade 3 to get your crest, which is super expensive, by the way, and complicated. Yep. I really like that kind of game, because like it's no longer about doing the most with what you have. It's like about doing the most with what you have, taking your opponent into account. Like they exist, they can damage deny you, they can give you the damage. Like having to ponder what you are doing based on what you expect to be done in return, it's really fun and interesting. It's just a bit of a shame that it requires luck, because like decks have too many resources now. We need to like cut a bit on that, so every time you make a choice it matters. Okay, so they here hit the divine skill out of a blind trigger. Okay, so basically they were a bit lucky, because even if the deck was compressed, like they hit 2 triggers and they didn't stack the divine trigger, so maybe they didn't have it. And now because it's 2 triggers, they are likely to survive the turn. Okay, 2 triggers for us as well, nice. Maybe we kill now. Maybe we kill! But it's hard because they already took one of the 73k's power attacks, you know? Well, it's not 73, but it's like a lot, and they already took that one, and they could easily guard the Zorga, so it's very easy for them to survive at this point. But anyway, like, they needed the 2 triggers, and if they do, maybe they lose. Maybe they lose. We don't know that just yet. We need to wait 30 more seconds to know. But like, he's guarding the first one, so he already seems pretty confident. You wouldn't guard the first one if you wouldn't have for the second one. And then they guard. Yeah, okay, so basically for context, this game, we basically gave up a bit of advantage by not giving the triggers where they should have gone. So technically we won the game, and then here we talk about it after, and he needed to hit the divine and 2 triggers exactly to have enough for everything. So yeah, technically we won that one, but like, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. I think those games were pretty cool. Like, even if the second one was a bit greedy, it was fine. Like, you can see different ways of playing the deck. The third game, I think it's really fun and it's amazing, and I really enjoyed playing it. I enjoyed playing it so much that I didn't want it to end. And well, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed. I think Night Rose should be coming soon. Someone told me about recording Audium. I will also record Audium. The problem is I don't have an Audium player around me. I need to find someone out, okay? But yeah, that's basically it. Hope you enjoyed. Have fun, stay safe, and see you soon.